While we're waiting to get our hands on the iPhone X, doesn't mean we can't have a little fun with an Android-iPhone showdown. How does the iPhone 8 compare against the top premium offering from Samsung stable? Juan Carlos Bagnell here for Pocket Now, and here's our Note 8 versus iPhone 8 Plus comparison, brought to you by Dbrand. I like to kick these off with design, and there's just no contest here. Samsung has won most of these fights, and against the iPhone, they win again. Against a newer, bolder Note, the iPhone 8 represents the fourth generation of iPhone to use this aesthetic. Apple's take on glass is a bit more resistant to fingerprints, but I think we can move on. Display tech is another obvious win for Samsung with a taller, higher resolution, juicier AMOLED. The iPhone screen is more than capable of getting your work done, but again, this LCD and aspect ratio feel a bit dated. Switching to the tech inside, this fight is a lot more interesting. There's no denying the insane horsepower delivered by Apple's new A11 chipset, again, handily leapfrogging the best that Qualcomm has to offer. It's also a testament to optimization that Apple can deliver such smooth multitasking performance with half the RAM of this competitor. The Note will obviously keep more apps running in RAM, though I'm not usually that guy who has 6 games in Google Earth loaded on my phone at all times. Speaking of gaming, the iPhone delivered smoother performance in our troublesome benchmark, Marvel Future Fight, which is poorly optimized for Android, but other comparable titles were neck and neck. The iPhone produces significantly bigger numbers in a synthetic bench, but we're not seeing many apps truly taking advantage of that power just yet, outside of a few that load a bit quicker. Samsung's focus on the Note is an everything-in-the-kitchen-sink hardware platform. Apple has caught up on wireless charging and water resistance, but you can always count on Sammy to include more stuff like a heart rate sensor, iris scanning, and yup, still has a headphone jack. The crown jewel feature, of course, is the S Pen, a wholly unique method of input, transforming the Note into a different tier of productivity product. It's a niche addition, to be sure, but one that offers significant and noticeable benefits over, say, Apple's 3D Touch. Apple does have one disruptive trick up its sleeve, though. Augmented reality has the potential to affect nearly every app and service on our phones. That Apple can deliver excellent world tracking performance without a bevy of cameras and sensors on the back is a phenomenal achievement. Software is also an interesting fight. iOS 11 is improving on areas we've been critical, like file management and app integration. Plus, it's still a handy winner for communication services like iMessage and FaceTime. Like hardware, Samsung just gives you more. A layer of Samsung UI lives on top of Android, changing the interaction depending on how you hold the thing. Edge panel shortcuts for one-hand use, stylus interface for two-handed work. Plus, Google and Samsung are well ahead on more advanced multitasking like split-screening apps. Whether you want simple and familiar or more options for customization and navigation will largely come down to which ecosystem a user has already invested in. The audio game is a win for the iPhone. The stereo speakers on the 8 Plus are noticeably better than the Note's mono bottom-firing unit. The headphone game is pretty close though, even considering the dongle. Quality numbers are neck and neck, but the iPhone has a slightly punchier amp. We will admit though that the Galaxy is the more convenient solution, and also they include better earbuds with the price of the phone. The camera battle is also increasingly nuanced. The two seem to be built to compete directly against each other. The iPhone's horsepower and software optimization deliver some incredible benefits. Smaller photo and video sizes, more consistent HDR processing, a higher resolution 240 frame per second slow motion, and 4K video at 60 frames per second. The Note is no slouch though, delivering better low-light performance, faster and more accurate autofocus, a more complete app with manual controls, and hardware stabilization on the zoom sensor. Even a feature like their respective portrait modes is a conversation of pros and cons. Apple tracking depth information for better lighting filters, but Samsung allowing finer adjustments to the blur effect and capturing a photo from the main sensor to use as a safety net. It's been a long while since Samsung and Apple cameras have felt so evenly matched. Samsung does pull a win for battery life, however. Where we would normally praise Apple's efficiency, as iPhone chipsets have gotten more powerful, the gap in runtime has widened. In our streaming bench, the Galaxy takes a significant lead, draining a smaller percentage of a larger battery. This is echoed in our recharge test. The iPhone supporting fast charging Just, you don't get a fast charger in the box like you do with the Note. The Note is not the fastest recharge we've ever clocked, but it easily defeats the iPhone. Lastly, the cost comparison isn't as far off the mark as the price tags might indicate. Unlocked, direct from each manufacturer, $130 separates the two, but the Note does ship with better earbuds, and that fast charger is in the box. Considering the stylus as an accessory, the Note 8's premium over the iPhone doesn't feel as significant. So, let's wrap this up. Where's that leave us between the Note 8 and the iPhone 8 Plus? This was actually a lot closer than I thought it would be. For all of our criticisms on the iPhone 8's worn design, it does bring some really cool tech to the table. It would be short-sighted to write off something like augmented reality after Apple's investments in ARKit developer tools. Still, we have to give the overall win to Samsung. The Note 8 is just a more exciting offering. Boundary-pushing design, the more complete package for work, and even for our concerns over costs, it manages to make a compelling argument for that sticker price when compared against Apple's larger iPhone. Of course, we all know this was just an hors d'oeuvre of a comparison as we wait to compare Samsung's $900-ish phone against Apple's $1,000 fare. Yikes! $1,000 mobile tech investments. Spending that much on a pocket supercomputer, doesn't it deserve a little pampering? A little care? Team Apple or Team Samsung, dbrand has a wide collection of skins in different colors and textures to customize your premium-priced electronics and help you keep a better grip on all that slippery glass. Check out dbrand.com or use the links in the description below to start customizing your phone. As always, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more comparisons like these and help us out with a share on your favorite social networks. For Pocket Now, I'm Juan Carlos Bagnell, some gadget guy on Twitter and Instagram, and I will catch you all on the next review.